Here's a Gibbs equation problem where they're asking us to find the value of delta G at a specific temperature at first. And then down below they say, assuming that delta H standard and delta S standard are not temperature dependent, what's the temperature at which it becomes spontaneous? We'll apply Gibbs equation twice. And since we're dealing with standard conditions, let's use the little degree sign to the upper right of each of the letters. They provide us negative 58.03 kilojoules for delta H. They give us that the temperature is 298. And they give us a value of delta S, but note that the unit is in joules, whereas the unit for delta H is in kilojoules. That means we have to convert, divide by 1,000, and you get 0.1766. Crunch the numbers and we get negative 5.403 kilojoules. Note that it's negative. That's important. That means it's spontaneous. In the next one, they say, don't worry about how delta H and delta S might change over different temperatures. Yes, they are somewhat temperature dependent, but usually we can presume that they're not. It makes things a lot easier if we can. And this time they say plug in 0 for delta G, use the same delta H as before, solve for temperature. This time when you solve it, we come up with 328.6, and that's in Kelvin. Okay, then the follow-up, is delta G standard negative above or below? So if the tipping point is 328.6, would you get spontaneous reactions at temperatures approaching from down below or from above? Well, we have a negative delta H and a negative delta S. That's the type of situation where it is sometimes spontaneous and sometimes not. It's spontaneous when temperatures are low. So find the tipping point temperature of 328.6, and temperatures below that would all be spontaneous. As evidence, the first part of the problem, they said the temperature was 298. When you solved using the same delta H and the same delta S, was the delta G negative? Yes, it was. If you wanted further proof, like let's say you wanted to pick a temperature at which the reaction would not be spontaneous, where you'd get a positive delta G, go ahead and pick a temperature like 350 degrees Kelvin, work out the same problem, solve for delta G, and you would get a positive result.